It was an ordinary day. I'd rolled along in my wheelchair to the top of a snowy bank, then ditched my chair in favor of crutches, which I used to get down the aforementioned slippery bank. Passers-by might have been slightly alarmed to see an empty wheelchair on the sidewalk, and down below, a one-legged woman flat on her stomach leaning out over a river. Don't jump! Life as a cripple isn't that bad, is it? Like I said, an ordinary day. Seriously though, the water was only 10 inches deep. I think I'd survive even if I had jumped, which I totally wasn't. You see, I was filming last week's video and had to get in some awkward positions as I adjusted my camera or lay down in order to reach the water. And I'm sure I looked totally sane and normal as I dug out clump after clump of dirt from this unique position. Unsurprisingly, people kept stopping to make sure I was all right. I had some fun conversations, including teaching one man how to do a roundhouse kick, which was tricky on a slippery slope in the snow on one leg, but he wanted to be like Chuck Norris, and who am I to argue with that? The last person to talk with me is the inspiration for this video. He said he had multiple sclerosis and was afraid of ending up in a wheelchair or losing his legs. I told him that life is still worth living, even in a wheelchair. I'm still able to do many fun, enjoyable things, even if I do them differently than before. He said that people see him walking his dog along the river and think he's fine. They question his assertion that he's disabled and judge him based on what they see. What they don't see is that this was the one moment in the entire day when he was able to force himself to do anything physical, and that it would take him hours to recover after the effort. They see his walk as a sign that he's fine and should get over his condition. I saw it as a mark of intense mind over matter that he made it out at all. It was his way of fighting back against his condition. Ironically, I was in a similar position. Lately, my health has been very challenging. My back can't tolerate sitting in the wheelchair very long, and I'm still working on getting a new prosthesis, so walking has been a literal no-go. I've had to stay flat on my back for most of the past few months. I've been exhausted and in pain. The one day when I felt slightly better, I seized the moment and grabbed my camera because you matter to me, and making these videos is how I show it. I know you're going through hard things too. That day, filming was an event that might have given onlookers the misguided impression that I'm fine, or that I spend all my time hopping around in the snow, leaning precariously over rivers, even though that's far from reality. When we see people, whether in person or online, we're seeing snapshots. If instead we saw unfiltered 24/7 live streams, people's lives would look very different, because for every cute picture on Facebook of someone at the beach, there are a million unshared dull or downright unhappy moments. If you see an amputee run a race, you're seeing a brief triumphant moment in time, not the fatigue or pain that it costs to make that moment happen. The same goes for the man walking his dog or an amputee on crutches with a camera. Tell me in the comments what these moments look like for you. What's important enough to you that you force yourself to do it despite the challenges? When we see people, it's human nature to make unconscious assumptions. Today, I challenge you to resist the urge to judge or question another person's ability or disability. It's hard to see what they're really going through, and the world will be a better place if we extend compassion instead of criticism. And while we're at it, let's celebrate the moments when we're able to push through our challenges, to run a race, walk a dog, or get out into nature. These moments may not be representative of most of our daily reality, but these moments of perseverance are some of the moments that define who we are. Because life is not measured by the number of breaths we take, but by the moments that take our breath away. I'm Stefanita. My goal is to make you smile, whether by sharing uplifting messages or by being so silly you can't help but laugh. If that sounds good to you, then subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss any of my amputee adventures. See you next time.